Hi folks, HR Funk here with a video that I am very excited to bring you today. I am standing here holding a DS Arms Model 5821, and for anyone who can't tell just by looking at it, this is a US manufactured clone of the famous Belgian FN Fusil Automatique Léger, or FAL, or FAL, which in English just translates to Light Automatic Rifle. And this is one of the most prolific military battle rifle designs of all time. Designed in the days immediately following World War II by legendary FN designer Dieudonné Sève of P-35 high power fame. So you talk about somebody who earned their money from FN. He designed not only one of the most popular military handguns of all time, but he followed it up in the late 1940s with one of the most popular military rifles of all time. The FAL was used by over 90 countries for their military units, and it still serves in that capacity for some countries to this day. Now, I've got to say at this point in the video, I am new to the FAL. This is not a firearm that I was trained on and not anything that I have extensive experience with. So I'm going to be learning as I go. And this is going to be part one of a series of videos. What I'm going to be doing in this video is specifically looking at this DSA rifle and telling you about its features and characteristics. But in future segments of this series, I'm going to be looking at the development and history of the FAL. I'm also going to be talking about how it nearly became the official battle rifle of the United States, only losing out in the 11th hour to the rifle that we know today as the M14. And this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a learning experience for me. I hope you all enjoy it. So let's get right to it and take a close-up look at the DSA 5821. As we start this up-close look at the DSA 58, I'll tell you that one of the difficulties with this video is going to be trying to keep everything in the frame so you can see it. And before I get to the rifle itself, I want to point out that DSA ships their rifles in a lockable hard case. Now, this is not going to be a case that will suffice if you're flying with this rifle, but if you're just storing it at home and trying to prevent unauthorized access, this will work better than nothing. But it's not something that's going to keep anyone out who's determined to get inside. There are several places around the case where you can place a lock to try to prevent anyone from getting inside that shouldn't. But again, don't trust this. It's not going to take the place of a safe or anything else. As I open the case, I will show you that inside the case is foam lined to protect the rifle and the accessories, and I'm going to rearrange things and we'll get to the rifle and the accessories right now. Here's a look at everything that comes along with the DSA 58. Beginning on the right and working my way left, there is a brochure that shows all the various models that DSA produces, as well as a lot of accessories and upgraded parts for this rifle. Next to that is one 20-round steel magazine. Also, a sling accompanies the rifle. There is a 20-round polymer magazine, and down here on the far left end is the owner's manual, and I'll talk about the owner's manual a little bit more in just a moment. For shooters who are familiar with the FAL platform, and particularly those who have received training with this rifle, the owner's manual is probably not so much a concern, but for anyone like me who is new to the FAL, I think the owner's manual that you receive from DSA is kind of basic. Now, it does cover the essentials like loading and unloading, and there is a section in here for setting the gas system and zeroing. But looking at the cleaning and maintenance section, this is it pretty much right here. And I would like to see some more detail, particularly with regard to assembly, disassembly, maintenance, and so forth. But as I said, this does cover the bare essentials, so it's definitely going to get you started, but I think there is a lot to learn beyond what is covered in this manual. Here's our first look at the rifle itself, and this is a traditional 21-inch version of the FAL. And specifically, according to the DSA nomenclature, this is their product number Sierra Alpha 5821 Sierra-Alpha, so SA5821S-A. And I'm going to talk about all the various components of this rifle as we go on through the video. DSA completely manufactures these rifles in the United States using improved tooling and modern manufacturing processes. Even so, they are still completely interchangeable with metric versions of the FAL. This rifle features a 21-inch premium standard profile barrel manufactured from 4150 mil-spec steel. It also features a chrome-lined bore and chamber, as well as a rifling twist ratio of 1 turn in 10 inches. As you can see here, the barrel is machined to accept a bipod, and it's also outfitted with a front sling swivel. I should have probably mentioned this earlier in the video, but this rifle is chambered for the 7.62 millimeter NATO cartridge. And with this camera angle, we can also see the left side non-reciprocating charging handle, as well as the carry handle. And the carry handle, for anyone who doesn't know, can be folded out of the way when it's not needed to keep it from being obtrusive. Here's a look at the fire control for the SA58. We can see the safety here right above the pistol grip. This has the safe and fire positions. Also, we can see the back-swept pistol grip, which is one of the signature design features of this rifle. That's one of the things that, when you see it, immediately starts to scream FAL, along with the front hand guards and the rear buttstock, which I'll get to momentarily. The buttstock, pistol grip, and hand guards are all manufactured from glass-filled nylon, and they are all produced in the United States. The buttstock on this rifle is of the humpback non-folding variety, but DSA does produce folding stock versions of the FAL. The rifle uses a heat-treated cast receiver that is machined from 4140 steel. The DSA 5821 functions on the traditional fixed stock version of the FAL operating system that changes a little bit for the folding stock versions, but this has the fixed stock, as I mentioned. The bolt carrier that you see here is the non-sand cut variety, and let me move the camera forward just a little bit. Operation of the DSA 5821 is facilitated by a short stroke stainless steel gas piston that's located inside the gas tube here. And the gas system is fully adjustable. Adjustments are made by turning this dial, and by turning that and tuning the gas system, you can make sure that it's working properly with whatever type of ammunition you're using to ensure the most reliable functioning. Here's a look at the ramp-mounted rear sight. This sight is windage adjustable, and it can also be indexed to compensate for trajectory at distances up to 600 meters. The front sight is a protected post that can also be adjusted for elevation. The rifle comes from DSA with a Belgian-style combo flash hider, but the barrel also features a 9/16 by 24 left-hand thread for use with traditional FAL muzzle devices. The DSA 5821 has an overall length of 43 inches. The length of pull is 14.25 inches. The weight is 8 3/4 pounds. And the finish, according to the DSA website, is a matte black Duracoat. The MSRP for this rifle is $1,800, which is not inexpensive by anyone's estimation, certainly not mine. But it's also in the ballpark with what we might expect to pay for a decent M14 clone, and it's significantly less than we might pay for a match grade version of the M14, so that kind of helps put the MSRP into perspective. And that's going to do it for the up-close look at the DSA Model 5821. The next time you see this rifle, we're going to be out on the range, and I'm going to be shooting it to see what kind of performance I can get from it. By the way, before I go any farther, I want to say a special thanks to Mark from DS Arms for forwarding me this rifle. Without his assistance, this video and the series that's going to follow would not be possible. And as I said, speaking of that series, I'm going to be looking at the history and development of the FAL. I'm going to take a look at its performance all along the way, and for those purposes, I'm going to be using the DSA 5821. If you have any questions or comments about this video, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Also, remember to go by hrfunk.com, check out the product links there, and also be sure to take a look at all those numbers listed under the product links that are probably going to help you out with a purchase from any of the places where you're looking at those products. Wink, wink, nod, nod. See you next time, folks, and until then, good shooting. Bye-bye.